Hello everyone, I hope we are live. So welcome to our next PrestaShop public demo. This is fifth session of the year. And today, as always, we have some project news for you all and some demos, interesting demos that we will present later. So let's get it started. Apart from me, there's Matthew, who will present a new password policy and present some news regarding the V8. Jonathan and Mateus will focus on the new product page, and Eshan will share you with the news and with the new initiative coming from the product team regarding the discovery phase of next versions of PrestaShop. And I'm your host, Christian, so let's get it started. Today's agenda. First, as always, I will present you with the event rules. Then we'll have some news regarding the project. We will talk about feature freeze regarding PrestaShop 8. We will welcome new committers to the project. And last but not least, Eshan will present you with the idea of product discovery project. And we have two very interesting demos. The first one is about new password policy, which is coming to the PrestaShop 8. And the last one is about new product page. So it's a long-awaited demo from the team presenting you with the new features that are coming to the product page. But more details will be shared by Jonathan and Mateus. Event rules, as always, feel free to ask us any questions that you might have. But remember that this event is about the PrestaShop open source project, not about PrestaShop company. This event is being recorded, so you will have a chance to view the recording later on YouTube on our public channel. And last but not least, please respect our code of conduct. So, coming to project news, I will now present you with the new committers that are joining our project. Last month, we informed you about Thomas, who joined us as a first committer, and this month we can welcome 4 new committers: Julius from Invertus Agency, who is PHP developer, Mahmoud Parvazi, who is helping us with the development of Hummingbird theme, Marco Salvatore, who is helping us with everything around open source project. He is also tech evangelist for PrestaShop in Italy, and Tomek Zając, who is helping us also with the Hummingbird theme. So welcome. We would like to warmly welcome new committers to the project. And if you are working with us closely on GitHub and you would like to join us as a new committer, please feel free to submit your application on GitHub on our open source repository project. So again, welcome guys to the team. Well, and I hope we'll create something very good. And now coming to the next news. The next news is about feature freeze regarding PrestaShop 8. And I will now ask Matthew to join me. Hello, Matthew. Could you tell us more about feature freeze?
Yeah, it's a topic I love. And also thank you for being once more our host, Christian, because it doesn't look like this, but it's actually a lot of work and you're doing it every time better. But back to feature freeze. So yeah, for the people who have been watching it and following closely, it's been a wild ride, but we're really happy we were able to freeze the branch 80x on the 9th of June 2022. And the final main features that are embedded inside PrestaShop 8 are the update to Symfony 4. This one has been done for quite a while and it was needed. Compatibility with PHP 8.0 and 8.1. So 8.0 was needed, obviously. 8.1 is a little one we were able to add kind of the last moment. So it's really cool, especially for developers. Then there's the first batch of items regarding the open source project separation that has already been presented, I think at least twice in this demo. If you check the latest demo, you will find content about it. And I say first batch because actually the roadmap for this full separation is very big. So it's going to come in multiple batches. And in this batch, I would say the main item is the removal of PrestaShop company marketplace from project. So now when you launch a new 8.0 shop, you don't have the marketplace anymore. You just have another module manager plugged on our own API for the modules. Of course, you can always put it back if you want to be able to retrieve your PrestaShop.com modules. But now in 8.0, this marketplace is gone. Then there is a feature we have already told multiple times also, the redesign of the product page. This will be the topic of the demo number 2. And a new password policy, which is something we didn't mention a lot before. So I will be able to present it today, although this is the work of Pierre Rambaud that maybe is in the audience. I don't know if he's there. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, but since he decided to lead the project, I will present it in his name. Also, so these are the main topics inside PrestaShop 8. But do you know that PrestaShop 8 is like, I believe, I checked yesterday, 989 pull requests merged. So there's plenty little improvements, performance optimization, refactoring, removal of dead code, improvement, yeah, plenty little things that are not mentioned here, but bring plenty of value nonetheless. So this is quite a big release, full of benefits and great things for you. And before moving to the next topic, so now we have done the feature freeze. Cool. What's the next step? And actually, right now, the QA team is performing a very big QA audit campaign on the build. So basically, they're checking how much bugs they can get. They're trying to find out the status of 8.0 to know how far we are from being able to release it fully. So they're doing this for the alpha build. This is the first phase, and then will come pretty soon, I hope, a beta period. And obviously, we will welcome any help from the community, both from helping us to polish and finish the thing, and also to help the QA team test, because the more highs you have, the more bugs and issues you are able to find out, and so the L00 build will be as good as we can collectively. And that's all for me.
Thank you, Matthew. And yes, I can confirm the sooner the better. If you are a module developer, theme developer, if you are working with PrestaShop, the sooner you test V8, the better. Feel free to report any issues that you find in the software. And now I will ask Eshen to join us. Hello, Eshen.
Hi. Hi, Christian.
And please go ahead and tell us more about product discovery for next versions of PrestaShop.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Christian. So I'm here to talk about product discovery for V8.1 and above, meaning V9 and above. Some of you might already have taken part in workshops. Some of you might have answered a survey. And all this is to get a better understanding of the pain points, opportunities that we see for the next version of the software. So that's the why we're doing this discovery, why I'm contacting the community on Slack or through email. It's to get your feedback, to structure it, and to give it back to the community. So the expected output really is a structured feedback, a structured bundles of information on specific topics that we hope will help the community to contribute and have some knowledge on what the community wants to do next, and some infos that might not be apparent just by looking at the state of the software, but that we can pull out of the feedback you gave by digging it a bit. So why you can participate and why you should participate, it's that while you are giving feedback to us as the core team, but as well as to the other member of the community that are participating, you will also get some feedback from these other members that will be in the same position as you, notably during the workshop, where we try to have everyone be able to talk about what's their pain point regarding performance, regarding cart rules, regarding API, and the other topics as well, such as cache management, CI/CD, log management. And this feedback is really interesting for you today as developers, as member of the community, but we hope that it will be even more impactful tomorrow once we've concluded this phase of discovery and once everyone has taken part into it, when we will be able to give back this structured feedback to you. Finally, how to participate. The workshop rounds up until now were announced or on the open source Slack, but I'm going to try and to put up a thread every week with the next workshop so that everyone who want to participate will be able to register really easily by answering the Slack thread like Frank, Jean-François, and other members did on the last thread. And that's about it. And stay put because I will probably put the thread for next week workshops later today, I think, or tomorrow, depending on the availabilities I can find. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shen. So if you are not on our Slack, I shared the link to the PrestaShopProject.org website where you can find an invitation to our open source Slack. So thank you, Eshan, and Mathieu. Please stay with me because right now is a demo time, and the first demo is about new password policy. So the floor is yours, Mathieu.
Yeah, and I believe we can keep your slides because I'm able to control them. So that's cool. Yeah, I considered the idea of doing a live demo, and then there's a demo effect. So I just went with screenshots. So this is actually a topic that is not recent. As you can see, the initial issue about it on GitHub was created in 2018 by Pierre. Pierre, I will say it again, used to be the main developer of the team working on security for a long time. He has now left the project, and it's actually, I believe, it's the last work he did for the project. So it's like a faraway gift. So once again, thank you so much for Pierre for all the work you did, including this one. And so 4 years later, 2022 now, he fixed the issue he created in 2018 by implementing a new password policy based on, and bear with me, ZXCVPN. So I have no idea whether or not I pronounced it correctly. I'm not sure there is one way. So I continue using this pronunciation. So what is this crazy thing I just said, ZXCVPN? So it's just a password strength estimator. By this, I mean it's a little system that is able to tell you, hey, your password is weak or average or strong. But what does it mean? Weak, average, or strong? It basically means, is it easy or not to guess when using online password guessing? There's plenty of systems being used today in the World Wide Web to just go on a website and try hundreds of passwords and trying to find one for dedicated accounts. So easy is going to say, hey, can be found is like in 100 guesses, and strong is above 1 million, I believe. So it is just your password needs to be so expensive to find by guessing that the attacker is just going to give up. And this system is actually, ZXCVPN is actually quite efficient for detecting passwords such as too short, that's very easy to do, and sequences. Like, for example, I just wrote ABCDEF, so it's the beginning of the Roman alphabet, but it's also be able to do this for sequences like numbers, sequences like other alphabets, like Russian alphabet, Chinese alphabet, other famous things that basically go from one side to the other. Words, names, surnames, so Matthew, crocodile, dog, cat, I don't know, giraffe, this kind of thing. If you try them with ZXCVPN, it's going to tell you it's a weak password. It's also able to find out whether or not you were lazy and just decided to go do a row on your keyboard. If you just follow the top line of the keyboard, so depending if it's a AZERTY or QWERTY keyboard, it's going to be like this. It's able to find out that you just followed the keyboard because you were lazy to make turns. So it's going to ask you to do more turns. And even better, it's able to find out if you just took one of the above and did a transformation. So if you just pick my name, Matthew, and I add some random caps lock, it's going to find out. If I just reverse it, it's going to find out. If I just take one of the above and add an extra character, an extra number, it's going to find out. So it's really cool. There's actually quite a lot of password strength estimators able to do this, but this one is easy to set up. There are some other ones that you need to train with data you have to regularly set up, and you need to query a database through API endpoints. No, this one, very easy to set up, which is a big advantage when you want to implement it. So there's so much more we could say about it, but I'm not a pro. So if you want to learn more about ZX CVBN, I can just recommend for watching this YouTube video. I just watched yesterday. It's very cool. With the link later, you will be able to reach out the slides. You will be able to copy it. And if you just Google ZX CVBN, I believe it's one of the top links. So really cool, very nice presentation by someone from Dropbox, if you want to know more. If we focus on what Pierre was able to do inside PrestaShop, this is what it looks like. So for example, this one is the employee form where you input a password when you create new employees. And I try to put a weak password there, and it's giving me, okay, this is average. Yes, it's long enough. However, I believe this one I tried something like AZERTY or QWERTY. So it just told me you need something longer, and you need to not do a sequence. Another example, so this one is on front office. This is a register form when someone register to create my account. And I just tried to put password in reverse and see, this is the result I got. I believe this is not the final UI. If my memory is not wrong, there is something we have maybe not done yet on classic theme that makes it even better from an UI point of view, because this is actually something quite important. You know, you can put on your website a password strength estimator as good as it is. If it does not give you proper feedback for the user, it's quite useless. You have sometimes, I don't know if you ever found yourself in this situation, you go on a website, you put a password and it tells you this password is too easy, but you have no idea actually what is wrong with your password. So ZXC VPN is able to provide you the information about what you need to do to convert your password into something more secure, which is really cool and very important for proper feedback for the guests. So this is all. So this is the new password policy implemented inside PrestaShop 8. And it's really cool to be able to have a new password policy. It's even better when you are able to configure it, which is why Pierre also added inside the security back office webpage, which was introduced in 1.7.8, I believe, a little block where you are able to modify the little settings that allow you to control how strict ZX CVBN is going to be. So if you want, for example, you're afraid that your password policy is going to scare some customers away, or you just know your website is secure, it's used only internally, I guess you could reduce the level of security you want. That's all for this demo. So once again, thank you so much, Pierre, for the work. Really happy to see it merge and to see it live very soon. And if you have questions now or later, I will try to answer them, but I'm not sure. I might need to Google a few things maybe. That's all for me.
Thank you, Matthew. And you are right about the nice UI for the password indicator for the classic theme. Mateusz just shared the link with us, and I'm sharing with the community on YouTube chat. And you can find on this URL pull request from Valentin implementing the new UI for this strict password policy feature. So feel free to check it. I'm pretty sure you can implement it already on your version of classic theme if you want. And now we can move to the next demo. So thank you, Matthew. I will now ask Mateusz and Jonathan to the stream. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Christian.
And your demo is a very interesting one. It's about new product page that is coming to V8. So I'm leaving the screen to you guys. Feel free to add your screen to the stream, just like this. I think it's ready, Joe. So I'm leaving you guys and enjoy.
Thanks, Podomski, for the introduction, and big shout out to Valentin for the work he's doing on the different themes. It's very good work. So now the product page. So what's new for the merchant? So I'm going to explain a bit with Jonathan, my acolyte, who is going to do the live demo for me because I didn't have set up the shops on my computer. That's thanks for Jonathan. So we present what's going to be new for the merchant, what's the different features we implemented, and then I will let Jonathan show what's the good stuff he has made for the developer, module developer. So if we start, I will let you share your screen, Jonathan. Yes. So the first thing we're going to present you is a new bulk action model. So we remade a bit the progress bar. You know, when you do multiple action on the back office, we show you a progress bar. We change a bit the progress bar. Now we are able to catch the error on the process, and you can download them. We hope this feature will help merchants and developers to understand easily what happened on the action. So here, this is a refined new design of the progress bar. I don't know if Jonathan can make an error on the project, on the product.
Yeah, I can. I'm just gonna create. Oops. Why doesn't this work? Much better. So let's just create an empty product without a name, and we're gonna try to activate it. So it shouldn't work because even so, we now allow to create some product without name. You can't put them online until they have at least one name. So this will be an easy example. So now I try to activate the whole list, and I should get one error, and you actually get an error per product. So you can then go and see the details. And so this will explain you that the product with ID 20, to put this product online, you need to enter a name. And you can also download the error log if you want, which is exported as a little SCV file. And once you've done that, you can actually just see the resume of all the actions.
So we really want to, it's only on the product list for now, but we want to implement this model on every part where we have bulk action. We want to make it as part of the UI kit also, so module developers can use it as well to benefit from the features of the model. Maybe we can see the product page footer, Jonathan.
Yeah. Let's go.
So we made some changes on the product page. Now we are able to catch. So if we type something on the product page, for example, if a merchant misclick on the title, we can see that the different action will be somehow hidden, and the main one that will be shown is cancel and save. So this is we hope that we help the merchant to understand that the product page has been edited, and the merchant can cancel or save if a modification was made intentionally. And if not, he can cancel. The cancel is a simple refresh, but we think that the feature is will be well appreciated if something has been messed up on the product page. And this feature is here also, and mostly because previously on the footer, you can create a new product, you can duplicate it or go to the catalog. And this different feature was making a save without being explicit. So to avoid this kind of behavior, we making sure that the merchant either saves or cancels their edition, the modification, to then do a preview or add a new product, and so on. So yeah, we hope this interface will make it easier for the merchant to understand what is need to be done before finishing creation of a product. It still need a bit polishing. I don't know if it's very clear for the merchant for now. So the page is still on test. So if you have feedbacks or if you have clients, don't hesitate to try the page so we can have feedback from them. It will be really interesting. Maybe we can continue on the combination, or maybe you want to add something more, Jonathan?
No, that's very accurate.
So we have made a very nice product combination with very beautiful images. So here we want to show you the bulk action on the combination. So I don't know if you remember on the previous demo, we showed you that we could filter the products depending of the on the filter bar. If you maybe sort by colors, green, yellow, yes. So now we have the ability to sort. We had many feedback from merchants saying that it was very hard for them to edit all the combination one by one, change the images, assign them, and so on. So the idea here from the bulk action, if you can select, yes, we can select the current page have been displayed or all the results that have been made from the filtering. But now we have all the field from the product edition that can be used as a mass edition for all the product combinations you have selected. And you can also do it for the images. So meaning that if you have uploaded the right images before, if you filter by color, I think you have chosen blue, yes, you can easily select them all and apply to all your combination with a new progress model bar. So yeah, the idea here is to let the merchant the full capability to change easily some content, the images of all the combination. We have heard that merchant could have like more than 1,000 of combination, and we really hope that feature will help them. Yeah, I think that's the main feature for the bulk edition. And if you see now, you can select from the bulk action all the results or only the information have been displayed on the page. So we let the merchant to choose. You can change the number of products have been shown. If you scroll down, we can see that on the bottom of the product list, you can change the number of products displayed. So here Jonathan is adding 5 quantity to all the edition. You can now add,
For the example,
you can either add more 10 quantity or add a fixed quantity if you want to reset the stock to 0 into 300, or add like 20 more quantity for specific products. Now it can be easily done.
and you can do both. It's either a fixed quantity or a delta quantity. Indeed,
Yes.
in bulk edition, you are allowed to edit the fixed and the quantity, which is not possible in the single combination form.
And here you go. And if you see on the bottom of the list, you can change the number of items that have been displayed. Yes. So because now we have a pagination, to avoid the merchants to have, because merchants that are using combination can have a huge number of products in the same product. So to avoid a merchant navigating from different page, edit the product, don't remember what's being edited and so on, we have made a decisive move that if you start editing the list, for example, the quantity or the price, we pass the list on edition mode. You can't do anything else than finishing what you are typing. And if you can cancel, reset the value, and you can save the information on the list. So it forces the merchant to save the information while they're editing the current page, and while if they are finishing editing the first page, for example, they can navigate to the second one and make sure that they are editing the product list step by step. It's working with the filters as well. Because we really want to avoid autosave, because we don't have any autosave on the product form. So we want to keep consistency on how the page is behaving. And we try to avoid the 200 page that the merchant can navigate to, and just have the clear understanding of what the merchant is saving and editing, to have a full control of the information. And yeah, I think that's a cool feature we have developed on the combination. Don't hesitate to give us feedback. And yeah, if you enter in a combination mode, you can't like edit and then, I don't know, try to duplicate the product. We really want merchants to finish the action that he has been doing.
Yeah, because the idea is that if you save, for example, the product form of the whole page, it would be refreshed, and you would lose what you are editing. So we try to emphasize when you are editing inside this list that all those modification needs to be saved before you save the other parts of the product.
We can maybe have a quick look on the combination generator for a quick refresh. So it changed of place, so now it's hidden on the button if it's deleting.
That's the demo effect. Oh,
Ah.
oh.
So as you can see, the product page needs more testing.
Yeah, I think it needs there is a small feedback because we need to get the whole list of the products. We probably need to add some loader at this moment. And regarding the generation, indeed, so if I want to have like kind of the same product I had just before, which is a t-shirt with 4 sizes and 3 colors, then it will generate 12 combinations. And I have all my combination generated. But unlike the previous generator, which was working almost the same, we can now generate more combination at a time, and we also detect that we don't create duplicated combinations. So for example, I already had 12 combination with those criteria, and it already added me the 44 that were missing based on the same attributes. So that in the end, I still have 56 combinations regardless of the previous ones.
Yes, regarding Michael's question, you can change type of the product while editing the page. So if Jonathan change the product type of the combination, he can change it to any type of product. But we will remind the merchants while changing that some data will be lost. So it will delete all the combination. It will reset the stock because we're not sure which stock the product should be based on. and yeah, so to be aware of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and we have similar warnings for other types of product. For example, if you are searching for a pack, yeah, this one. So if I want to change the product type for this pack, I will have a warning that is adapted, which tells me that it will delete all the list of products that were associated to this pack. So that the
Yeah.
idea is that any action that is done, which is quite impacting, at least the merchant always have all the information of what he is doing, so that he doesn't do things by mistake. And we always have a model for to confirm that the action is really wanted and was not clicked by mistake as well.
Perfect. So we can move on the pack. Nice transition.
Yeah. So I need to move to yet another tab. So about the pack, maybe I can create one. I feel kind of bold, like everything is going to work as expected during this demo. So it doesn't change that much compared to previous type, except that the interface is a bit different. So if, for example, I want to add a mug, then I get a short list of the product that match my search. And when I select them, they are added to the list. And only after can I change the quantity associated with it. So it's slightly different, but basically it's not like a revolution of the feature. And we still have some little improvement to perform regarding the UX, but it's a work that is planned on the whole page with Tristan, who is designer of this page. So that when it's released in 8.1, it will be pretty everywhere.
And we also add some stronger rule regarding modification of a pack. For example, if tomorrow you made a pack with two of these mugs, and later on another employee of your company deletes one of the mugs, it will be the employee will be warned that this mug is used for a pack, and he won't be able to delete this product because it linked to a pack, which wasn't really managed today. So now it's a bit safer to change and to play with the product.
Yeah, this path was not implemented yet. Even this PR right now, which is handling the pack, is under QA. But it will be ready before 8.1. And we don't have the warning about removing a product associated yet, but it's also planned before 8.1 logically. But at least if you delete it, it correctly removes all the associations between the packs, so that your pack is not in a state where you would try to access a non-existent product.
So maybe we can show bits of the stock management.
Yep.
So we have two big features now. So now when you edit stock on the product page, we work as on a delta quantity, meaning that you won't be able to put a straightforward quantity like 300. Now we are more on another logic, which is I'm adding or subtracting quantity. Meaning that if, for example, when you open your page, you have 300 quantity for this product, and in the meantime, while you are editing the page, you have made two sales, you will add, like, for example, three products. It won't erase the value and put the free product. It will only do an addition, meaning you're not going to lose the sales that you have been making while during editing the product page. I'm not sure I've been very clear for now, but this is one of the most weighted feature because we have many merchants complaining that, oh, I'm editing the product, but we have different value between my physics stocks and what I have on PrestaShop is because one of the reason it was because they were editing while there being some sales. So now we are making the things very clear. And to give a bit more context of the stock situation, we are showing to the merchants the 5 last stock movement that have been made on the product. I think Jonathan is trying to make some.
Yeah, actually, I tried to display what you were explaining. Like, for
Mm,
example, in this page, I opened the page, so I know I have 302 quantity for this mug. So if it's not the good one. I think that's the one. Yeah.
mm,
So let's say someone is purchasing 5 quantities of this mug. Up. So the order is not yet delivered, but the order has been purchased and paid. Well, not in this case because it's a bank transfer, but anyway. So if I correctly update my page, I will see that the quantity has been updated because now it's 297. However, if I'm on the previous page, I won't be able to detect that the quantity changed. So if I'm saying that I have 5 new products that arrived in my stock, so I want to increase it by 5, I would get a delay before, and I would falsely think that I have 307, or at least I should have 302. So now with this delta modification, even if the initial quantity is not correct when you save it, as it's only the delta quantity is applied, then you have the correct number, which is saved.
So like that, you merchant, we always have a good stock quantity with this modification. And we found out that merchant were interesting about uh, more context of the stock situation while editing the product page. So maybe we'll let you're finishing.
In this case, I'm just stating that the order has been delivered, so it actually updates my physical quantity inside the PrestaShop stock management. And so now when I'm updating my product page, I can also see the quantity that were shipped. So this represents actually the sales of the product, and it allows you to have a mini history of the stock movement of your products. So you can easily see if it was modified by one of your employee because he was changing the stock quantity, or if it was because of some product that was sold.
And the employee is saved on the page. So meaning if one of your employee leaves your company and is not available, we'll still see his name. So you still have a full history of the stock if you change of employee in the meantime. So we hope this feature will give more context for the merchants while editing the quantity to understand why some products have been sold or not, to give a bit more insight in a view where it summarizes all this information, which can be hard to find on the other page. I don't know if there have any question about this, but maybe we can move on and to explain where, or maybe you can explain how a module can exploit and use a new product page.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next part was what we were displaying was mainly oriented for merchant, but we also included some new features for developers. So just a quick preview of what I'm going to show. But before, mainly when you wanted to extend the product page, you had a feature that allowed you to have some content in a dedicated modules tab, and many modules could be configured inside this modules tab, but you couldn't really customize the existing form and place the fields wherever you would want, so that it would be more consistent. For example, to add some price in the pricing tab, or some content in the basic tab, stuff like that. So now, since we are relying on a Symfony form, which is completely displayed in Twig with a single line, we respect the places where the fields are added inside your form, so you can play with them and remove some fields or add some at any place you would want. So just to show you the possibilities uh, in this page. So for example, this is the former way, which is still possible because we keep it for backward compatibility and to let the module developers the time to do the migration and to adapt to the new possibilities of the product page. And this one is really simple. It actually just displays the custom product details. So in this case, it's an example module which adds some fields to a product. But if I want to edit it, I can go in the description tab and I will see that I have here a new field, which is demo custom field, that I can edit, of course. But if I wanted to add my own tab, it's also possible now, because as you can see here, you will find a dedicated tab which was added by the module as well, where I can add my new custom price. And the good thing also about relying purely on Symfony forms is that you can use all the basic features from the forms, like put some constraints on your fields. So if I try to enter an invalid price here because I decided that it should be positive, then I can get some inline error, and it's not a generic error that would be displayed on top of the product form, but it's really attached to the field that was in mistake, so it improved the user experience a lot. And of course, I can save a valid price, and it will be added in a dedicated table. And also, my little field here was saved as well, and I can get now the new product details, which is updated with my new data. And just to show you a bit of code for those of you who are fond of it, I don't know if it's big enough to read it.
It's okay.
Okay. So for example, here we created a class which is responsible for adding the extra tabs. So for example, if I look at the description type, we introduced a service which is accessible in the core, which is called form build modifier, and it allows you to add a field exactly at the place you want, because usually in Symfony form you can only add new fields one after the other, but you can't place one before after another specifically. So that's why we added this component to help you really put the fields where you want. So here I can see that I want to add after the description field, this is the name of the new field, and then it works like a regular Symfony form. I can give him which type of field it is, and some details, some configuration. And regarding the custom tab that I told you before, actually the only thing you need to do is to add a new form type on the top level of your product form. So just to show you more precisely, yeah. So in the edit product form, here you can see that each element which is defined on this top level in the form actually represents a tab in the page. So we can find the description tab, the specification tab, and so on. And in my case, I just added a customization tab, which would be globally placed here. So it's like I had done something like this, but from the module. And as soon as a new form is added on this first level, it will be considered like a tab, and it will be automatically displayed in this way. So it allows you to customize quite much all the form. And we still have one other which I didn't show, but you can also modify the footer, which is also rendered via the Symfony form. So in this case, we added a small button inside the form. So I didn't had to add it after, I just put it at the end. And so you can see that in my footer, I can now click on a link, but you could add anything else, even some button or some fields, depending on what you wish to add. So I think it offers much more customi- possibilities of customization. Sorry. And I hope that you will enjoy building some modules which brings better user experience for the merchant and for your customers. And that's basically it, I guess.
We have some question regarding what you have shown. Michael was asking if you had, Jonathan was asking if where this modification feature was, where they have been developed, implemented. I think it's only for the product V2, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's only in the new product page because we needed to do a complete refactor to have some properly built product form type to be able to render it globally. And this is the fact that everything is rendered automatically with Twig and its form customization that allows the modules to also integrate smoothly inside the form. And one detail that I forgot, but it's also quite technical, but previously, when you want to customize a form type, you can define some form theme, which allows you to change the layout completely, because if you want to do some real customization, often you actually need to change the layout because the layout of the default Bootstrap or Symfony inputs is not adapted. Which is able it's doable in Twig usually. So you would have a Twig. Let me just find an example. Up. So usually you would indicate to the form that it will be using a specific form theme, and it allows you to change to customize layout a lot. But you can't really do that from a module. So we developed a small extension in for the form, which actually allows you to define a form theme directly inside the option of your form. So the idea is that just with an option, you can do the same thing that you would do inside the Twig. And the advantage from this is that you don't need to override some Twig when you build your module. You can simply create your form type and just add the form theme, which will be directed to your custom Twig. And it allows you also even more customization for all your form content. And you could also decide to override a regular theme if you want by changing this option as well. And if you're interested in everything that we showed, because most of those features are still being tested, this is the list of all the pending PRs. So if you want to be sure when they will be ready in the 8.0 branch, then feel free to look at their status. But anyway, they should all be integrated in the final release. We're not showing the beta because it's not the priority for the beta, but by the final release, everything should be ready in this new product page.
We had another question about Michael, if you can add before.
Yeah.
I think it's for the tab.
Yeah. If you look at this one, So the form builder modifier, you have the add before and the add after, and those one are not public, but yeah, you can totally use both.
And Arno is asking, what if there is a lot of customization tab? Good question. On the old page, you had a responsive view of the different tab to navigate to the different tab. I don't know if we have decided something about the product page.
I'm not sure I understood the question. Sorry.
If you have many tabs, I think
Oh,
if I understood the
I believe the page
yes,
automatically
exactly.
adapt. You can use the arrows to navigate through the many tabs.
I hope we answered your question, Arno. I'm not sure, but don't hesitate to add more information in the chat. Yes, I think maybe we can show what's the next step, Jonathan.
Yep.
Don't hesitate to look to the PRs to give feedback. So the page is still in beta, and it will still be on beta for the V8 because is going to miss some features as multi-stores, and we are trying to we will try to fix all the bugs we can find on the product page V2, but our main priority, as said Jonathan, is the release of the V8, and the product page is not the priority. It is here. You can use it behind the feature flag, but we highly recommend to use it only for tests and not in production. We'll see when the V8 will be out if we can say that the product page is stable enough to be used in production, but I think it's going to be too short for us. Also, so the objective is from the 8.1, the next minor, so the next release will add the multi-store compatibility. So the page will still be hidden behind the feature flag. So we will need your help at that time to test the multi-store, which is a bit complex, but we hope to make it right. And it's going to be the new page. So the product V2 will be permanently the new page on the V9. So merchants on that time from the 8.1 it may be really stable. So merchant will probably can use this page on production. But in the meantime, I really recommend module developers to play with the page to give us feedbacks because it's going to be the default page on the V9. So you have plenty of time, but the better is the sooner, as said Podolsky earlier.
And I think by the release of V8, the page should be stable and it could be used in production, but we are not confident enough to really put it as a default page.
Yeah.
And besides, the multi-store is not completely finished, so you can still test it and force to enable the V2 page for multi-shop if you want to test it for development, for example, but it should never be used for production in multi-shop, that's for sure. But in single shop, it will work quite well. And
Maybe,
also the idea is that it gives the developers more time to adapt because they will have the possibility to test it in single shop for V8, multi-shop in 8.1, and you still have the old page. So your old modules can still work during all the 8 and 8.1, and only in the V9 the old page will disappear. So it should give you around a year to adapt your modules to the new page.
yes. So all the feature flag on the page called experimental features you can find on the advanced parameter in the back office. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, so here you can activate and deactivate the product page on single store. And if you are on a multi-shop context, you can activate and deactivate the multi-shop, multi-store features as well. which are very experimental for now. And depending of the status of the page at the release, we rename new feature, beta feature. And if we think the product page is stable enough after a big QA and feedbacks from the community, we'll be able to put a label as new feature. But that's going to depend of the stability of the page at the release, at the V8, which is going to be at the end of this summer, we hope so.
Yeah, and you should find in the future release some other features, not just the product page, but more and more features that will be enabled or not with some feature flags. So you will find them all here, and you will basically have 3 levels of stability. Experimental is really some alpha development that is not finished and not stable, but is useful for development. Beta feature should be some feature that are close to finishing, but probably still have a few bugs. And a new feature is what we will consider stable and can be used in production, but are not enabled by default because we need to respect our backward compatibility policy. So we won't replace some old page with new ones until we reach a new major version. So, for example, in 8.1, maybe you will see some other pages here which will have been migrated but not enabled by default, but you will still be able to use them if you decide to enable them.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
the 3 stable status that we can have.
And I think that's it.
Thank you, guys.
I think
Thank you,
yes.
guys. Really impressive work. Bravo to everyone involved. And it's worth mentioning that this page was created based on the interviews that product team had with merchants with
Yes.
real problems, real issues. So we can see improvements regarding combinations. So I think that the issue with performance of this page has been resolved thanks to the new version
Yes.
of the page. Stock management, basically everything that you just showed is a response for merchants' needs. So I think this is a good promotion for our product discovery phase that was earlier mentioned by Eshan. So feel free to participate in the product discovery phase for next versions of PrestaShop. I think there were some modifications regarding specific prices and categories, but maybe we could show them on some during some other demos.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing this product page because we had many very interesting feedback from the merchants and agencies that we have met. Thanks to them, we could like gather all these feedbacks. I think that's what Eshan tries to do for the next release. Gather as much feedback as we can so we can make the best product page. We also had feedback, for example, from Ashpa Talks while we are developing the new page to give us more insight, which is very interesting. So yeah, it's a very big project. We really want to see finish, but we have a huge feature behind them, and yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but this is
yeah,
just
wonderful.
good proof that the team is listening to the merchant needs, and this is a good example of how can we together improve the software. So once again, bravo to everyone involved. Maybe the community have some questions. We can wait a bit. I'm finding particularly interesting the part where Joe talked about the possibilities for developers. It's really interesting to see the ideas for new modules that a community could have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
not
guess also to show that we've been migrating for a few years now to Symfony, and I know it's quite long, but this is the perfect example that display how Symfony actually can bring us also some cool feature for developers and some better user experience for the merchant.
Exactly.
Yeah, merchant couldn't understand why they had to go on the module tab to configure their product information. It was very weird for them to understand this behavior, which we had put aside to fix other things and other bugs. And because I'm already migrating this page, we can take the time, have a step back to understand better the needs and the pains from the merchant on this. And yeah, just adding a new tabs and be able to easily edit it, add new fields on the form is, I think, is going to be a huge change from some other merchants.
Yes, totally. Plus, the new product list page is based on the grid component, which gives the developers more possibilities when it comes to customization of the list. So, if you are the developer, feel free to test it out. Everything is available on GitHub. I guess most of these pull requests have been merged already, right? So, yeah, so feel free to test it. And I don't see any more questions from the community, but if you will have any after watching these videos later, feel free to contact us on Slack. The link is somewhere in the comments in the live chat section of the YouTube chat. So thank you guys, thank you Matthew, thank you Eshan for your presentations and news, and we will see each other next month on the vacation session of the next demo.
Thank you, Christian. Bye, everyone.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.